What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 as we continue our campaign as the French Empire. One thing that I do want to point out, we are on the 4th of June, 1944, and within the last episode, all of our 24 medium tank armored divisions, led by Charles de Gaulle himself, we have actually managed to push through our front line, which is technically our fallback line. But the idea is now that our fallback line is not basically being bombarded and, taking a bunch of damage over and over again, we are finally able to build up all of these forts that we are going to go ahead and try to just basically keep them maintained with 24 divisions of Mountaineers. So I am going to go ahead and unpause this game, but the entire goal is to take all 24 of these armored divisions and bring them on over to Belgium. And we are going to try to liberate both Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands in one go. But in order to do that, I need to be able to, I want to say solidify our gains. I'm not sure if that's the correct terminology. But now that we own the entire economy of Italy, I want to be able to lock in those gains, I guess. And the only way to do that is to basically secure our front line. And that means going ahead and building a variety of really powerful forts. And of course, most of these are almost done. I'm not sure if we necessarily need infrastructure this early on. But, yep, that's basically what we're doing. I don't necessarily see any other... Yep, there's the fort. So that fort needs to move up, and that's basically everything that's going on. Like I said, I do want to, lessen my grip on the presence of foreign oil in my economy. I am bringing on roughly 224 barrels of oil, so this is ridiculously expensive. I would like to say this is roughly about 15 to 30 civilian factories. So every 10 we have 80, so this is roughly around 25 civilian factories, which is ultimately about an entire line of production that I am just not getting. So that is a little sad, but if I go ahead and I build my own synthetic refineries, things could go ahead and, become a lot healthier as time goes on. So anyway, not only are we protecting our front lines, but we are building up the infrastructure, we're doing a lot of repairs, and, once we get a lot of additional forts, I think things will definitely be a lot smoother as we continue to transition on by. A lot of these forts are almost done, and it looks like, the 2nd of July, we're only talking about 2 or 3 weeks away, and all we have left are basically one additional fort that is not being worked on, and infrastructure as well. Taking a look at our logistics, we are currently with a surplus of pretty much every single military equipment or any type of vehicle. We are missing some carrier fighters and some carrier bombers. I don't really plan on building any of those in the near future. And we still have our 1.7 thousand light tanks from the beginning of the game. Don't think I'm ever going to really use those. If I could somehow manage to get around 2,000 medium tanks, I will go ahead and I will beef up some of my existing armies. And every 1,500 mechanized, I will go ahead and beef up my existing armies as well. Now, obviously, we are still working on the backhand blow land doctrine. But once we get modern blitzkrieg, we are basically going to be unstoppable. Now, in the last episode, sadly enough, the Soviet Union declared war on the Republic of Turkey, and it looks like they have invaded me from behind. No, they have not. They somehow managed to get into the United Kingdom's territory and conquer most of Jordan. And Palestine. I have no idea how that happened. But all we really got to do is deal with this German threat, and I don't think it's really going to be all that much longer. I'm also debating if I should go ahead and build level 5 forts. I don't really want to, but it would make things a heck of a lot easier, and it's really not that expensive. You know what? We probably should. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're building 8 forts in total. 8 additional forts. And so the entire goal is, you know, once I build those forts, I know for a fact that no enemy is going to be able to break through all of our incredibly powerful mountaineers. Not only are they regular, but some are seasoned, and I don't know if anything are better than seasoned. But imagine a 50% modifier in combat. Oh my goodness, that is just absolutely amazing. Well, I wish there was something I could do right about now. We've still got our Marines. I don't think we're necessarily going to worry about those. I think eventually we are going to have to go ahead and throw on some additional troops into Syria. I don't really want to have to deal with this just yet, but as the Soviet Union strengthens its grip over the Republic of Turkey, things are definitely going to get a little dangerous. And we also could go ahead and begin liberating Sweden. But I think our number one priority is to basically take Belgium, and the reason why I say this, 25 unlocked slots. You know, if I go ahead and remove Belgium from the German Reich's grasp, I mean, it's not really the strongest country in the game, but 25 unlocked slots is really nothing to laugh about. I'm willing to bet there are a ton of military factories in this area. Okay, I am still waiting on a variety of really expensive forts to be completed. Still going to take quite some time. I do have an additional battleship ready to go. I don't think I'm going to worry about that just yet. And one thing that I might do, I have 4 different navies. I have one in obviously I have 3 different navies in the current battleships I have. So I've got 14 ships in the Adriatic, 102 in the Central Mediterranean, but most of these are, you know, submarines and destroyers, so all of these don't really count. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not bad, but these destroyers are going to get annihilated fairly quickly, especially because they're rank 1 destroyers. But I do like my light cruisers, my heavy cruisers, and my battleships. So I do want to go ahead and eventually start researching some land doctrines as well. In the meantime, we also have some armored divisions that are prepped and ready to go. We have some mountaineers that I could probably throw on into this front line. I believe we're building another 6, so then that means we have 30 mountaineers to guard 8 spaces. I don't even know if we necessarily need 30. But we do have some rugged terrain. We have some land forts. We're building 2 more, and it is certainly taking its time. But I'm also wondering, I would really like to go ahead and remove all of these units, but it's probably not the best idea to do so. Still working on a lot of civilian factories. I would absolutely like to go ahead and finally finish up this modern tank. Only 192 days left, but I am going to save so many resources if I could go ahead and research this quickly and efficiently. Not only am I going to be saving a lot of, well, first off, this is what we're buying. We're spending a lot of extra oil, and we are spending a lot of extra tungsten. Now, this requires chromium, which I actually do have quite a bit of. Let's see, I have 158. We have 75 military factories. If I can find it, why do I keep clicking the wrong thing? And we have 75 military factories, 75 times 4, so I need 150 more chromium. And I have 158, so I need 300 chromium. That is going to be a little bit of an issue, but maybe if I stop exporting so much chromium, things could be a little bit easier. And in fact, I guarantee you, I could probably conquer some additional territory with some chromium. I don't know where that would be, though. You know, I could go through Turkey. I'm not really planning on doing that. I could import through Turkey, and maybe improve their economy. But that is what it is. Still building up a lot of our forts. Definitely about ready to go ahead and remove this entire front line and then liberate all of Belgium. I'm definitely looking forward to this. We're losing some support equipment as well, so I'm wondering if future units or future military factories should go to the construction of support equipment. I wonder how many fighters we have extra. 250. We do have a lot of close air support, which I suppose we could finally throw those on in. Let's go ahead and throw down about 500 close air support. And now we have 1,800 out of 2,000. All of you will go to the Benelux region for close air support. We are definitely about ready to go. And what's cool is all of the United States troops and all of the Allied forces are assisting as well. I'm not sure that we really need to do just that. But I'm still waiting for my final land forts to be constructed. I don't know why I keep wanting to call them factories. I really wish we could do something, but I am basically just sitting back waiting for these factories because I don't really want to, you know, bite the bullet and go too far and overextend. But I'm fairly certain that all of these German mountaineers and infantry, they're missing so much equipment that I don't think it's really going to be too much of an issue. Okay, are we working? Nope, still waiting. Once we get to the 15th of July, I'll probably go ahead and pull back. The only area that is basically missing some forts is this one right here. Well, is this it? Oh, I forgot. We're building level 5 forts, so this is why it's taking so long. And I love how we have that extra line of forts that we never really used. But it is what it is. All 24 of you are waiting until the 15th. Because then we could start going ahead and producing the other forts without really worrying all too much.
Attention.
Let's go ahead and stop exercising you. We're going to be bringing all 24 of these units. We're going to cancel this front line. And we are going to shift... well, I guess. Still waiting for the 15th. We now have a level 5 fort all the way in the bottom of Istria, so I don't think they're ever going to flank around. It would be very hard for them to do that. I wish the time would go by so much quicker, but it's not. And then we're going to go ahead and plan and prepare for our invasion of Belgium.
Écoutez.
Looks like we are taking a small amount of supply issues, but that's fine. Okay, one more day until the 15th. And then finally, this small province is going to go ahead and start producing the fort. And we are good to go. Once we have another fort complete on the 20th of July, we are going to start building up this infrastructure, which is awesome. So my next goal is to shift-click these units down, shift-click them over, and I would like to go ahead and put strategic redeployment on. So they'll move a little bit quicker, hopefully. And I wonder if I could do something like this. Put them all here. And most of them are moving. Our forts are still being constructed. All of our mountaineers are dug in. And we do have extra mountaineers that we could throw down. But, you know, I do want them to gain some experience.
Aux ordres.
Alright, everybody is taking their time. And that is absolutely fine. And it is kind of a little bit challenging when our infrastructure is so low. And we need to do some repairs. In fact, we need to do a lot of repairs. Okay, still waiting on these last 3 tanks, and that is about it. Once we get into some areas with higher infrastructure, things are going to go a lot quicker. Okay. Looks like we have also unlocked anti-tank infantry too. Because we're in 1944, we could get more mechanized attack. I think that would actually be an incredibly powerful idea, but I would like to go ahead and start researching rockets. Let's go ahead and get better attack first.
Attention.
Okay, still waiting for this last tank. It is certainly taking its time. But at least all of these areas, we're no longer really passing through mountains. And when we do pass through the mountains, we're going to have, obviously, some better infrastructure.
Gardez vos rangs.
Okay, now we have a brand new goal. Let's go ahead and create ourselves a front line. And the idea is to liberate all of Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands in one go. Is it going to happen? I have absolutely no idea, but I think it could work out very well. Should I also build some better infrastructure? Probably. But then again, I don't know if I'm going to need that much. And I feel like I should go ahead and also build some infrastructure in these two areas, so then our troops can just move a little bit quicker. How are our forts coming along? Very well. As you can see, we're finally starting to build our civilian factories. Let's actually start, what's the word? Strategically redeploy these troops, so then they move 100% faster, I think. Maybe it's just 10 kilometers per hour extra. So we are making our way over, and then once we liberate Belgium and the Netherlands, things should go a heck of a lot smoother. Alright, what are we working on? Still our land forts. How is our research coming along for those modern tanks? Very slowly. We're going to need a lot of chromium, and I guess the United Kingdom would probably sell me quite a bit of those. And for future references, we're probably going to no longer be producing any medium tanks, because once we switch over to modern, we're going to need a lot of these. And I'm not sure that we're really going to be ready for it. Here come the rest of my units, actually moving phenomenally quickly, which I do like to see. And once they land, a lot of them are almost ready to go, gaining a lot of preparation, and I'm sure it's due to our initiative. How is our organization? Not necessarily ready to go, but I believe the liberation of Belgium is at hand. How are our mountaineers? A lot of level 5 forts, which is what I love to see. I feel like we should probably get another unit of infrastructure just to be safe. You know, it was level 2. And then we got it to level 3 and 4, and now it's about to be... Well, now it's level 4, and now it's about to be level 5. So here comes another fort inside South Tyrol. And then we're going to start, you know, obviously improving our economy again. Okay, how is the invasion ready to go? We have 72% planned preparation, and all we really need to do is wait about one more day. And we are going to liberate all of Belgium. I am ready to go. And it looks like my forces are too. Okay, let's go ahead, throw you into a balanced manner, and go ahead and activate. So we're pushing on through for the very first time, and I believe we are absolutely going to annihilate whatever resistance is here. It only took us a few years to, you know, get this far, but I'm happy that with the economy of Spain and Italy, we could finally push back against the Germans. We have some unfortunate resistance. Is there anything that I can do about this? I could probably go ahead and throw on some cavalry units. If I could click them. Cavalry and cavalry will go ahead and save. And so the idea is, I'm not actually going to do this again, but we now get a heck of a lot more suppression. About, you know, 5 suppression, which is phenomenally good. I have no idea really what that means. But as you can see, they are significantly better. Okay, Charles de Gaulle doing a fantastic job with the liberation. Wow, look at all these military factories that, one, Germany is going to lose. And if we could somehow just repair Belgium, they could just go ahead and, you know, just start using them for their own army. I would also like to liberate Luxembourg, which I believe is right here. Wow. We are doing incredibly well. There should be a major city. Here we go. Once we take Liège, we should be able to secure some additional factories. Yes, we are. Sadly enough, a lot of infrastructure is being shot to pieces. And are we lacking oil? Kind of. We're about to finally get a heck of a lot more civilian factories in time, which I am looking forward to. Let's try to take Rotterdam, and then the Hague, or the Hague. Alright, we've liberated Brussels. Moving on into Luxembourg. I wonder how many factories are here. Probably an incredibly small amount. Ah, but it looks like Norway being liberated as well by Ireland. And we might even move into Frankfurt if possible. You know, over time, all of these civilian factories are going to repair themselves. All of the infrastructure is going to be repaired. So I would say that our conquest is going incredibly well.
Écoutez.
I feel like we're also missing some tanks. All of this area needs to be liberated. And it looks like we are finally done liberating Belgium. Next up is Luxembourg. And then we're going to go ahead and begin planning for another big fight. I believe so, at least.
Continuez l'attaque.
Let's take all of these, throw them on up. And we're now pushing into Germany. This has been a long time coming, but we are finally pushing back against the German Reich. But they are running out of infantry equipment, and there's nothing they can do. In fact, I probably don't even need all of these units. I could probably disband them, but I don't think that's a great idea. Any additional military factories I get, we will probably go ahead and build more modern tanks once we go ahead and research those. We're still working on quite a bit of mechanized. Crossing river after river. Luxembourg has officially been liberated. And sadly, this does make me a little annoyed. But everything that we're about to conquer is going to be given to Belgium and the Netherlands, which I do not like. But I realize that is, you know, the way the game is played. Alright, we are going against some infantry units. I think we can easily fight them off.
Continuez d'avancer.
And next goal is go ahead, delete the offensive line. Let's go ahead and create a front line. All the way down to Luxembourg. And I want to cancel any type of plans we have. And all I want to do now is move on down to this next river. And, wow, what the heck is happening? I'll probably do something like this. And it looks like all of our planning and preparation is almost ready to go once again. But I do want everybody to get in line. How is the infrastructure? It definitely needs repaired. Are we building up a lot of civilian factories? Yes, we are. Still building up a lot of infrastructure as well. I probably could go ahead and build some infrastructure in Africa and Libya. I don't know if it's really the best idea. But it's not bad. Okay, are all of my forces where they need to be? Slowly. In fact, I don't even know. They're not even there yet. Any day now. But Belgium is officially liberated. I am very happy about that.
Écoutez.
Let's see if... we're still waiting on some units. This is going to take forever. I feel like what we're going to do is let's go ahead and activate. I want to go ahead and push on into Germany. And the reason why I'm just concerned is if it gets to winter time, things could get very dangerous very quickly. So once we liberate... well, actually, we've already liberated pretty much everybody. Pax Americana has finally been passed. But what we need to do is try to knock the German Reich out of the war and then remove the rest of the Axis. And then I guess we got to deal with the USSR, which I don't want to have to deal with. But we've got nothing else to do. Now, you know, finally investing in engineering rockets might be a wise choice, but they're really not good until 1946. But obviously, we have to get experimental rockets, and we got to get rocket engines, and then improved rockets. But once we get ICBMs, I mean, this has an 11,000 kilometer range, and I can annihilate Moscow from, I mean, all the way in Paris, heck, probably in Spain. Okay, we are finally pushing on into Germany.
Attention.
Can we go ahead and take the city? Probably. And then that means we're about to capture a synthetic refinery. So we've officially pushed past the Rhine, which is the river. And yeah, we are now into Germany. The end is near. A call to arms request from who? Probably from Turkey. Alright, looks like we are fighting back some units. I don't know if we're going to win. I think we're going to lose Syria, which is sad. I probably could throw in some tanks. I don't know how good that would be. I've got 4 here, and then technically I've got another 6, but I don't want to use those. Can I add some additional medium tanks? Yes, I can. So I think all 8 of these troops are going to go down to Syria. And all we're trying to do is basically fortify our border. But I realize there are so many troops inside the Soviet Union that I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, well, we have finally gone ahead and passed the Rhine. We are getting closer and closer to Berlin. I think we are going to have to go ahead and end this episode. So thank you all for joining me. Hope you all have an awesome day. I will see you in our next adventure.